As we move on, these problems are going to get more and more difficult, and sometimes you will realize that guess and check just isn't going to work. So today you're going to learn a few strategies to help you solve a problem when you feel like you're stuck or when you feel like guess and check just isn't working. Let's look at this problem now. 2x plus x equals x plus 8. It looks a little bit trickier, but it's really not too bad. And let's remember that this middle column or post is an equal sign. So let's build 2x plus another x equals x plus 8. So now I'm trying to think what plus what plus what equals what plus 8. Instead of using guess and check this time, we are going to use a rule of keeping things balanced. So, just like on a balance, if I take up one thing from one side and the same thing from the other side, that balance will stay nice and even. So, if I take a pawn from this side and a pawn from this side, the balance is still nice and even. So now my equation is x plus x equals 8. Now let's look at a problem without a balance. So here I have 2x equals x plus 3. So thinking about our first legal move, we can take an x away from both sides. So I know I can take 1x away from here and 1x away from here. Now think about this as a giant subtraction problem. I'm taking an x away from this side and an x away from this side. I can bring my equal sign down. So 2x, or 2x's, minus an x equals just 1x. And x plus 3 minus an x, well, if I have 1x and I take an x away, I'm left with no x's, so then it's just plus 3, or positive 3. So I'm just going to put a 3 there. So now I believe 1x equals 3, or x equals 3 is the best way to write it. But now it's time for my check. I need to make sure that both sides are equal. So if x equals 3, 1x equals 3, so 2x's equals 6. And on this side, we have to see if this side equals 6. X plus 3, this we think x equals 3, so 3 plus 3 equals 6. And we know that both sides are balanced when x equals 3, 6 equals 6. So that's my check. Now let's look at one more problem without the balance. This problem is 3x equals x plus 4. So going back to that first legal move again, we can remove an x from both sides. We're going to take an x from here, and we're going to take an x from here. So think of this again as a giant subtraction problem. Minus x, and I'm going to bring down, I'm going to draw my subtraction bar. I'm going to bring down my equal sign, and I know that 3x minus x, well, 3x minus x is 2x. There's my equal sign, and an x minus an x, I don't have any x's left, and then I'm just left over here with a 4. So now we believe that 2x equals 4, or x plus x equals 4. 2x and x plus x have the same value. It's just two different ways of writing 2x. So if we believe that x plus x equals 4, then we have to decide what each x is worth. In this case, that x is worth 2. X equals 2. I know if two x's equal 4, then each x must equal 2. So x equals 2. But now it's time for our check. We've got to plug in this 2 into all the x's. So 3x is the same as 3 times 2 equals, well, we think x is 2 plus 4. So 3 times 2 is 6, and 2 plus 4 is 6. Just like last time, our equation balanced out to 6. It doesn't always have to balance out to the number 6. It just has to stay balanced. So 6 equals 6. That's correct. That's my check. So I know that for this problem, x equals 2. And remember, x can change. In the last problem, x was worth 3. And in this problem, x is worth 2. Now I've got some practice problems for you to work on.